We are officially live. Hey everyone, Andrew here, otherwise known as the guy who wrote the last attraction book you'll ever need to read. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. It's actually a really special Manifest Monday because we are celebrating the 6th anniversary of publishing the last Law of Attraction book you'll ever need to read. This is really significant for me because it sounds a little dramatic, but there's life before publishing the book and life after publishing the book, and the difference that not even say I let readers make their own determination of what this may or may not have done for them, but just the difference it's made for me in terms of how I interact with people and just having a new platform and a new way by which to communicate with people. It's been special beyond words. That's all I can say. We're going to be celebrating tonight with a couple of things. One, I'm going to have a really important update that I'm going to about to begin with, but I'm going to share one of the most important lessons from the book for people, whether they've read the book or not. It'll hopefully be valuable. And then I'm going to answer a reader question that kind of comes, uh, you know, it kind of accompanies the lesson, and it's a unique way of asking something around the lesson I'm going to teach that I've never really I don't think I've ever had before. And I read the question once, and then intentionally did not read it after that again. I want to read it to you and to myself live so that I have like an off the cuff reaction and an off the cuff answer, because I didn't want to over prepare on this one, and I think you'll understand why. Hey Kelly, hey Lana, nice to see you. Welcome everyone else that might be here or might be showing up. So quick update before we get into hey Dana. Um, quick update. We're going to be doing something really special in on this starting a week from today, December 1st. I'm going to be running my first ever money manifesting challenge, and it's going to be a month long. It's going to be all of December. It's going to go down a lot of really cool roads and really hopefully separate itself from any other money manifesting challenge that you may have heard of or you may have taken, you may have been introduced to, because I'm going to be layering a few things that give you the simulation that you need to get your vibrational frequency and your psychology in the mode of an actual real life scenario and a number of real life scenarios where you were receiving a lot of financial abundance. What it feels like to spend money, not in this, airy fairy out of the blue kind of way, but more in a realistic way that's in line with who you are, with how you function around money, with how you function around life. Um, More to come on that, and anyone who's on my email list, I'll be emailing more details. But suffice to say, it's starting Monday, December 1st, and it's going to be exclusively in the Law of Attraction VIP Academy. To which some people might be saying, "Hey, well, that's not fair. I'm not in the academy. Why can't I try?" Well, you can try because again, the academy has a free 7-day trial. You can go in and do the free trial like right now, and it'll be finishing up as you begin, or you can even wait until December 1st and do the first week of the challenge for free, and let that be a decision maker if you want to stick around the academy or not. I keep it very affordable either way, but this is going to be aligned for anyone that may want to give this a shot and end their 2025 on an extremely high note. I've got a lot more cool things I'm going to be doing in the academy. I'm going to be doing LOA Vision Day, which used to be an exclusive recorded presentation for Gravity of the Cosmos members. I'm actually going to be doing a live LOA Vision Day and working with people on the call and really just setting up hopefully their intentions and their energy for a really successful, really fulfilling, really satisfactory 2026 ahead. A lot of cool stuff, a lot of cool stuff on the way. But again, stay tuned for that. But mark your calendars a week from today. We're going in grand style to finish the year off in the right way. With that said, most important lesson, at least right now, that comes to mind from the last Law of Attraction book you'll ever need to read is the ego. And for anyone that hasn't read the book, you hear ego, and that term is a bit of a loaded term because it could mean more than one thing. It could mean there's so many different fixed attachments to people. And obviously, you hear ego and you're thinking about it from a very specific psychological vantage point. Maybe you heard about it, read about it in a textbook or some kind of different context. When I say ego, it's how I'm framing a very specific part of your mind, because my experience in how things work and what's really rang true for me and a lot of other people that have interacted with my content is you basically have three minds that are operating simultaneously in your life. You've got your conscious mind, which obviously, that's everything that you're in control of and everything you're aware of. You've got your subconscious mind, more of an auto running program, but also very, very powerful. And then, of course, what I term the ego, you've got right there in the middle, right between the two. The ego being way stronger than your conscious mind, but fortunately for all of us, nothing compared to the power and the influence and the impact and the momentum of the subconscious mind. And the ego, as I describe it, and as I really teach people about it, only has one mission in life, only one thing that's important, and that's that you are alive. That's it. Now, that means it doesn't really care about your comfort. It doesn't care about your satisfaction. It doesn't care about your happiness. I mean, if it determines that those things are in line with your survival, it's all for it. But it doesn't need that. And if it determines that those things might be a threat to your survival, well, then you've got some conflicts going on that are going to prevent you from going in the right direction that you want to. And, a good way that I always put it is like, there's people that they may want to be rich and famous, for example. But for all your ego knows is if you become rich, all of a sudden people are going to be coming out of the woodwork, distant family members trying to sue you for everything that you're worth. For all your ego knows is if you become famous, you're going to get stalkers, and that's a threat to your survival. So all these possible threats to your survival, the ego is kind of like scanning. It's looking around the terrain saying, okay, my person's alive right now. Well, what's going on with my person right now? Well, they've got that nagging health issue, believe it or not. They've got that frustrating job situation or frustrated in their finances. Their love life is on the rocks, whatever it might be. Again, the ego's like, okay, this person's going through this, but I'm looking around and they're alive. And now they want to make some changes. Now they want to upgrade. Now they want to level up. Now they want to get a girlfriend or a boyfriend. They want to get a better job. They want to get a thriving business. Well, the ego's like, I can't compute if those changes are going to increase the likelihood of survival. And I also have to worry about, as the ego, are those going to reduce the chances of survival? Well, the ego can't take that risk. And that's why, again, it being stronger than your conscious mind, that's the whispering voice by your ear that talks you out of things like when you're trying to work out consistently. When you get 1 day in, 2 days in, 3 days in, you're going well. Your ego is that part that's going to talk you out of continuing because it doesn't know if you changing your physical conditioning, even though obviously, that being healthier is better for your survival. Your ego not knowing it, it's going to throw you off track. Same with when you're going for a promotion or you're trying to get into a relationship or you're trying to improve a situation, all these things. And, the way I describe it, it's kind of very easy to villainize the ego and to hate on it. But you got to understand it's not doing this to punish you. It's not doing this out of some vindictive feud against you. It's doing it in a misguided attempt to be caring for you, a misguided attempt to keep you safe. If only it knew that these changes that you wanted to make were actually going to be better for your survival, watch out. It would be all for it. Now, the good news is, again, we've got the subconscious mind, which is way stronger than your ego. So if you could send the right programming, the right signals, if you could create a momentum of the right vibrational frequency that will connect and resonate with your subconscious mind, that will connect and resonate with the universe, then it doesn't matter how much your ego fights you. You're going to move in the direction of what you feed your subconscious mind, meaning, strategically speaking, this is why you want to feed your subconscious mind the messages and the good feelings and all the information that it needs so that you get that improvement in your relationships, in your health, in your finances, in your business, in your career, in whatever's going on in your life that you want to improve. And how do we do that? Well, we make it hard for the ego to talk you out of things by engaging in manifesting methods in a way that are enjoyable, in a way that it can't say, well, this isn't fun, in a way that it can't say, well, this is a chore, this is an obligation, this is something we don't want. We find manifesting methods that are so powerful, but also so enjoyable, so easy, so user friendly, so quick and brief that they could fit in with your schedule, that it makes it so tough for your ego to talk you out of it. And then you stick with those methods for even just a little bit of time to the point where a shift occurs for you. There's a paradigm shift, there's a vibrational shift, and before you know it, you are vibrating at a different signal that your ego is now going to see these things changing, And then it's going to see that even though your life has changed, you're still alive. And now that it's scanning around and seeing that you're alive, even with these improvements, now it's going to fight tooth and nail to protect that new station for you in life. So, understanding how the ego can potentially get in your way, even though obviously, again, it's trying to do for your own good, but also understanding how to get around to that, how to get around that, that is the critical piece or one of the critical pieces of the last law of attraction book you'll ever need to read. That's why I call it the last law of attraction book you'll ever need to read, because for all the good law of attraction books out there and all the not so good law of attraction books out there, hopefully they're all delivering this message of, positive thought, positive intentions, positive feelings, all those things, right? But they don't really talk about the fact that if you go down this road and you're not ready for the actual part of you, the conflict within you that will prevent you from gaining consistency, which will lead to the momentum, which will lead to the shift in the results. If you don't know how to get around that, that's why a lot of people end up reading those books and getting frustrated. It's not that the information itself is incorrect, it's that the delivery of the information is incomplete to the extent that it doesn't help facilitate the actual changes through use of those methods of that content. Hopefully, ideally, my book is something that addresses that in a better way, and the 5-star reviews seem to say so. So I'll take that as a compliment. With that said, really interesting question I was sent today, and I got my little split screen here, so bear with me as I read this off. This one's from B, and she wrote, "Hi, Andrew. I wanted to reach out to you in hopes of some guidance pertaining to the ego. I've been reading your very inspirational book, The Last Law of Attraction book you'll ever need to read. It's quite enjoyable. As this is not my first manifestation book I've ever read, I do find that it may be my last purely because it's so fruitful with information. My question that I would love to ask you pertains to preventing the ego from intruding on the manifestation. My mother was the first one who introduced me to visualization and creating a vision board. They truly work. I was excellent at doing this exercise as an adolescent, and as I got older, it became harder, perhaps because of life events. As a child, I would almost expect things, and I noticed that they worked out, so I stayed on that frequency. However, now that I'm in my 30s, I'm finding many events in my life hindering my frequency. If I attempt any of the exercises that you provide, I almost find myself visualizing exactly what I don't want. It's actually frightening. I try to immediately stop those thoughts and restart, but it becomes quite exhausting. The visualization will start out great, but only for a few seconds, and then it spirals into a very rough thought or hindrance. This never really happened to me prior to this, and I'm unsure of if it's this level of, excuse me, and I'm unsure if it's the level of anxiety that I have about certain situations or that I've lost it. Please, if at all possible, help guide me because I want to succeed in so many areas of life to help better certain circumstances. Sincerely, B." Okay, so what do we have here? We have someone who read the book. We have someone who has a recognition of the ego. We have someone who's willing to go down the road of engaging with these manifesting methods. And we have someone who's encountering a really interesting roadblock where they try to visualize what they want and they get these intrusive thoughts of the opposite. And it's really interesting because B has intuitively surmised that it's the ego doing this, which we can't say for 1000% certainty that it is, but that's a pretty strong hunch. That's a pretty strong assumption that we can make, that the ego, through fear of the changes that B might make, is saying, no, 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 let's mix things up. Let's frighten her. Let's keep her off track. Let's not let her go down this road. Begging the question, what do we do about this? So there's a number of I always like to attack these questions from different angles because sometimes you can give one really good answer and it might be the right answer or a right answer, but it might not be enough. The person hearing it might find some specific problem, some specific issue, some specific reason that they've rationalized as to why it won't work. So if I could provide more than one angle, I'm all for that. And I've got more than one angle regarding this. First perspective, first angle I want to take on this is we're told that if we want certain things in our lives to improve, that we have to visualize and focus on that specific thing. And the truth is, you don't have to. It's one way by which you can do it, but it's not a specific requirement. And the reason I say that is because when you think of what you want just once, it's automatically, immediately, the message is sent out to the universe that the universe knows what you want. Even if you never think about it one more time, the universe knows that you want that thing. Begging the question, okay, well, how do we get it? Well, I thought we're supposed to think about these things and feel good. Yes and no. You're supposed to feel good. If you can use thinking about those things to feel good, if that could be the way by which you feel good, well, that makes sense. That's simple. That's easy. However, if you were to just feel good for no reason at all, or feel good about anything else, you are vibrating at a positive frequency that's telling the universe to give you more reasons to have that positive frequency. That's telling the universe to find more reasons and give you more events and outcomes and experience that will mirror that positive emotion. Meaning, if you want a new job and you thought of it once, and then you spend the next month feeling good, thinking about something else in your life that has nothing to do with the job, because you're feeling good and you're vibrating at that. And the universe knows that the job is part of what you want and knows that that's one of the things that'll make you feel good. That's how it sends the thing to you without you having to actually think about it anymore. Again, me and a lot of other people personally, like, I don't have intrusive thoughts where if I'm trying to think about what I want, something interrupts and it goes the opposite way. So I can just as easily facilitate the process and invite more of what I want by focusing on that thing that I actually want. But if for any reason that wasn't working for me, I could just feel good about anything. I could focus on something else that I'm grateful for. I could focus on things from my past, from my present, from what I expect in my future. I could just watch funny videos and laugh and smile. I could find any excuse, any reason I can to just feel good. So, B, one of the angles you could take here is finding other ways of feeling good. So, if you've got this thing where you're trying to visualize the thing that you want, and then these intrusive thoughts come in, you're like, oh, what do I do? Do a gratitude blitz instead, which I teach in the book here, which is, you set a timer for 3 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever it might be, and you're just thinking about things you're grateful for. And you're right on them. You think of something you're grateful for, and boom, you're on to the next thing. What are you grateful for? You're grateful for, and I'm gonna quote, I think, Just Feel Good at this point. You're grateful for your heart that's been beating in your chest every single second of every minute, of every hour, of every day, of every week, of every month, of every year, of every decade that you've been alive. You're grateful for all your body parts. You're grateful for your health. You're grateful for your organs functioning in the right way. You're grateful for your hands and your fingers and your arms and your feet and your toes and your legs. You're grateful for your ability to run, to walk, to move. You're grateful for your senses, your ability to taste and smell and see and hear and feel and touch, all those things. You're grateful for mentors. You're grateful for friends. You're grateful for experiences. You're grateful for your first kiss, your first crush. You're grateful for takeout. You're grateful for, pizza on demand. You're grateful for your internet, for the device that you're watching. Like, you just go on and on and on, and you're blitz and you're feeling good. And boom, whatever that thing that you thought about weeks ago, the universe knows that's one of the things that you want. It has the cue that it needs to give that to you. But just in case that's not working for you, let's go one more angle here. You're thinking about this thing that you want, and then all of a sudden, these other thoughts, these intrusive thoughts, the opposite, at a frightening level, find their way in. And this is a very alarming thing. Part of the reason that they're so powerful is because you are resisting them so much. And I don't know, maybe 2 months at this point, I'll have to look back on YouTube. I did a video on this on what I called manifestational math, where I kind of broke down what I had learned about different studies on how they measured positive thoughts being hundreds or even thousands of times as powerful as negative ones. Meaning, you can feel good and have positive thoughts for just 5 minutes a day, and vibrationally speaking, that makes an argument that that's doing all the legwork that you need, even if you spent the rest of your day feeling negatively. So, rather than being concerned about these thoughts and being resistant to how frightening they are, you could understand that you could think about the thing happening and then the thing not happening. You think of both of those in the same minute. Technically, the feeling good and the focus on the thing that you want already got you vibrationally in the lead, even if that intrusive thought came in. Meaning, I'm trying to show you that you can give yourself permission to let that thought pass through and just hop over it and go back to what you want. Go back to focusing on the thing that you want to manifest. And then boom, there's another negative intrusive thought. Fine. I felt it, I experienced it. Cool, let's move on. And just you keep jumping around. And it's one of those things where if you want to go down this road, if you prefer to have the ability and to have the option of focusing on what you actually want, you're just working it like a muscle, and you're retraining your focus to be okay when the intrusive thought comes in. You let it pass, and you move your focus back onto what you want. You just keep moving it back. You get knocked off center, you move it back. Get knocked up, move it back. Get knocked down, move it back. Wherever it gets off kilter, you just keep moving your focus back. You work it like a muscle, and it's a really cool thing because you're investing all this time and all this energy day after day to teach yourself how to focus. And it's very easy to rationalize that, oh my God, this is taking forever. When am I going to finally learn how to focus so that I could finally start attracting what I want? The cool thing is, by engaging in the process and the exercise of trying to learn how to do this, you're still doing the work every single day. As you're trying to learn how to get your focus in the right way, as you're doing that work, you are actually sending the signal that you want. It's kind of like trying to learn how to work out by doing it. You're trying to learn how to lift the weights by lifting the weights. You're lifting the weights. Even if your technique isn't perfect, even if your form is not perfect, you are doing the workout. You are doing the work. You are investing the energy and the focus and making the shift vibrationally that's going to do what you need it to do. That's the perspective that you want to take here. So you could either, if you could deal with it, again, I know how frustrating and how alarming these intrusive thoughts are. But if it's something where you can give yourself permission to experience it and let it pass and move back, you've got that. And if they're just too much for you, you know what you want already. You've thought about it, you've considered it, the universe knows too. Find other reasons of just feeling good for just a few minutes a day. And that is the answer. That is the way to go about this. So, hoping that served you, and hoping you take that to heart. And obviously, no, B emailed me. So, for whatever reason that answer's incomplete or not enough, and she needs more, she knows that she can reach out to me. One more note that I wanted to kind of go on for here. Um, I want to share something from the Law of Attraction VIP Academy. Again, right now it's growing. The community is just they're awesome. They're participating and they're interacting and they're getting to know each other, having a lot of fun. And one of the members sent this post and it just kind of resonated. And I had always intended to share it on a YouTube live, and I figured the one celebrating the 6th anniversary of my book is perfect excuse to do it. So Ray, who's in the Law of Attraction VIP Academy, she wrote a post there and said, "What if today could be the best day?" And she wrote that a friend has been helping me do a long overdue declutter. We have found things that I've forgotten about and never used, but they have a theme in common, namely that I've been saving them for the best for a specific occasion. What's drawing on me here in this moment is it's never going to come unless I create it. So that beautiful, expensive candle remains unlit. And that soft cashmere jumper with the quirky logo on it remains unworn. So, you know what I did this morning? I put the cashmere jumper on and I said to myself, maybe today could be my best day yet. And now I'm inviting you to join me. Is there something that you own that you've been saving for a special occasion for the best? Maybe today is the day to finally enjoy using it. And it will signal to our brains, to our vibration, that every day can be the best day or every day can be a special occasion. This is the thought that I want to leave you with, because I think a lot of times we fall into that trap of like, we're waiting for something. We're waiting for the special occasion. We're waiting for the manifestation. We're waiting for the result. We're waiting for the outcome. We're waiting for X, Y, or Z before we give ourselves permission to actually enjoy the moment, to actually enjoy our experience. So you light that fancy candle, wear that fancy jumper, put on that fancy suit, try on those fancy shoes, splurge on the thing that you want, take the vacation that you've been waiting for. Enjoy life now while you're on your way to manifesting more things to enjoy, rather than dwelling on how you don't have those things while you're waiting for those things to show up. You could have both. You could enjoy the moment now while you're waiting, and you'll be way more receptive to those things when they come. They'll come faster, most likely. They'll come easier, most likely. Let today be your best day. Let today be the special occasion. This is the first and last time that this book will ever turn 6. The next special occasion for the book is next year when it turns 7. But that doesn't mean that every day isn't a special day. Every day the book gets a new reader is a special occasion. Every day the book gets a 5-star review is a special occasion. Every day someone reads even a paragraph and gleans any kind of value, that's a special occasion. Every day is a special occasion. You should be finding that for your life as well. For your life, for your work, for your relationships, for your health, for whatever it might be. What do you have going on in your life right now that you've been holding back on, that you've been going halfway on, that you've been waiting for something to happen before you could actually enjoy the moment? Part of the reason that I'm doing this money manifesting challenge in December is because I understand, as I'm sure we all do intuitively, human psychology, that as we're nearing the end of a year, that's where we get the most excited about really gaining some momentum so that we can kind of kick off the new year in the right way with a lot more momentum, with a lot more power. So that next year is different. But that's another long winded way of saying, look where the year went. 2025 is just about over. Did you make the most of it? Did you treat every day like the best day? Did you treat yourself to the fancy clothes in your closet or the fancy vacation that you've been waiting on? Did you do that? Because now is the time. Don't wait. And by the way, if I was saying this in July, it'd still be the time. If I was saying this in May, it would still be the time. It's always the time. Now is always the time. That's what I want to leave you with here. Along with this, a huge thanks to everyone that's read the book so far. Anyone that hasn't read the book, you can go to andrewcap.com. It's got a very easy link that'll take you straight to the Amazon listing. It's available in paperback. It's available in hardcover, Kindle, audiobook. Any format that you want, it is there for you. And reviews don't lie. Thousands of 5 stars. Obviously, there's got to be something to it. I realized that I was very bold and very ambitious with this title. I realized that it has a lot to live up to. I gave myself that challenge in writing it. I titled this way so I can say, listen, if this is really going to deliver, let me give a name that it has to live up to, and then actually let me make sure that it lives up to the hype. So thank you, everyone, for watching tonight. Thanks to everyone that's read the book. Thanks to all my VIP members who also showed up. Looking forward to seeing you later on this week as we finish up Escape Velocity. We've been doing that in the Law of Attraction VIP Academy. Anyone that wants to check out the Academy for a free 7-day trial, whether it's now or you're going to wait till Monday when we start the Manifesting Challenge, it's lawofattractionvip.com, or you just go to andrewcap.com and there's a link right there. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Have a wonderful rest of your night. And I'll definitely look forward to talking soon.